the young trio on the far left side there against Uzi, Animal, and Envision up on high ground. This will be a battle for whoever can maintain this.
He's
but
going
again,
for it.
every single time this becomes a huge battle, and yes, Animal's team's looking to alpha that up, but they're getting the triple spray out from down below, but it seems like they've managed to connect. They may try to get edited down by the young trio down below, but no, they're gonna give up that high ground. They're dropping down, potentially play a second height layer and go for the launch pad play. But now this is the problem. Every single other region first moving became a difficulty of players launch padding up onto the high ground and take from them. Will Animal's team be able to hold it throughout this first moving and for the rest of the game?
That's the real question here. They're fully committing now as they got broken down. And no, Uzi's coming down here. Animal's going to fall and take big damage as well. And that's a double knock. Evasion's left by himself. He's going to have to fall, hit the launch pad there. And he has 70 damage below. What looked like a great position now turns into a nightmare for game number 1 here. He has to clutch up. And it's just going to feel, it's going to look extremely impossible here. He's got everything working against him at this moment. And that is the risk you take for going for high ground that early.
And it seems like the young trio was the ones who took it up on height. Evasion as a solo below Storm Surge. Unfortunately, it seems like he's possibly not going to be able to do anything. But yes, it is the young trio still up on high ground. That play to drop down was absolutely the right one. But Rise, Jamper, and Threats down on the mid ground. 110 above this Storm Surge threshold with 9 players left to go. Still tons of materials left to their name. Their heals looking really, really good for that heal off game as well. Every team that we looked at so far is in such a good spot.
They're looking excellent there. Furious is lucky as well, looking very, very good here too. They start to look up to height. Furious gets focused for a second, and all of a sudden, he finds himself in between some opponents here. Gets into a little bit of a skirmish here. Pre-edit shots too, and Furious is doing an excellent job right now playing proper defense. But our high ground team, that's the squad to look out for too. Remember, they're in the best position at the moment to potentially walk away with this, but they are somehow below the surge. They're being focused right now. They're trying to out-heal this. This could be a deadly, deadly mistake at this moment as another team is going to go on over them. They have to find some tags here and now. It's all or nothing, Reese. Their game will be over here if they cannot find just a little bit more. It's Goku, Slick, and Sharkman after taking out Posed and Felix there in the mid game. They managed to have high ground in the end.
They've ultimately held it at this point in the zone, and we see another launch pad coming out onto Ben's team, but no, only he's gonna be able to land up there. But another one, it's Rise, Jamper, and Threats who are not gonna go for the high ground play. They've managed to dip down below, while Slick, Sharkman, and Goku have managed to claim high ground in 8th zone. This is the pivotal moment for them, but the real question is, do they have the heal game to win it from here on out? The players down below will have floppers, they will have chug cannons, and they will have cabbages, whatever kind of like farming fruit that they have found so far in their inventories, and we have to understand if the high ground team will be able to beat that out.
What I will say is Jamper, Threat, and Rise went for a storm play. You can see they all took so much damage just trying to go in and snatch up height, and they're going for it once again. The fire here, that's the kryptonite to Jamper. He's going to have to give it up, and now Slick and Crew get targeted once again. That's a 99 tag. Huge for high ground. I mean, Jamper could be setting it up to, quite honestly, have no one win who's on height because they are fighting for it here. They're throwing it all on the table, and that's a major risk here. But there it is. A med kit is found from Rise. He's going to time the execution there. It goes through. He's also got a chug cannon. Another win condition, fights his way through that one. He's trying to break through the builds, but opponent was there waiting for him. He couldn't clutch it up, and down he goes. It is now left up to Threat here. A solo on the mid ground. On height, flew Wrigley. Manages to snatch it up over Tabney. How in the world did he get up there? I don't know, but he is by himself here. It's a battle for height at this moment.
It's a battle for right now. We see Pump trying to spray down, not be contested up on the high ground. He drops all the way down, but Wrigley is still up on the max damage. But no, he takes out Tabney as he falls down. Goku is on the full low ground. Threats is healing off in the back of the storm at the same time, using that chug cannon, and it's a 1v1 against Wrigley. He is in the zone, but Threats is not. He has the high ground, and he's going to have to jump down to make a play as Wrigley also starts to run out of materials. 2 builds to his name. The shots start to come out from Threats down onto the low ground situation. Both are going to have to take a shot, and it's going to be Wrigley alongside K-Burbs and dictating who pick up the victory royale in that first match and qualify through to the finals.
His wits back together here. They're standing inside an enemy box, though. This is all, it's just all looking bad here. On high ground, no, Spearbow still alive with Posed. I know Felix was out of the game. He was taken about Macwood by just a little bit ago, but all of a sudden, Posed and Spearbow actually holding it down right now. Okay. So a 2-man operation on height. We already know, though, teams are going to start looking upwards real soon now. Jamper, Threat, and Rise still in this game as well. 4 elims already for the power trio right here. This is arguably one of the most experienced teams in the game right now. Just look at this. They are leading the zone beautifully at the moment, working their way right around the outskirts. But how do you play this one? He sees the enemy wall. Look, once again, branches out from there. He is just doing an excellent job guiding his team through this end game. But Buzz looking up for high ground right now. Pose and Spiro have to be careful as another team is starting to look up for height. And there it is. Spiro goes down. Ale's gonna find him in the feed there, but Rise gets jumped on too. Jamper and Threat have to clutch up once again here. It's a 3v2 situation.
3v2, and they've lost Rise with also losing that Chug Jug at the same time, so they've lost the heal off potential that they may possibly have. We see Pump still on the right hand side of your screen, NAE. Spike on that left hand side still in as a full trio at the same time as well, but back to Jamper and Threats, who are in as a duo. 5 eliminations to their name at this point. They are looking good, but up on high ground, Tragic, Macwood, and Illist have the #1 spot. The Kings on top of the castle. Will they be able to retain their throne throughout the entire game?
This is it. The throne is theirs right now, but like you mentioned, will they be overtaken here or not? I mean, this is all enemy builds. It's old structure, so this is not safe by any means. Jamper's starting to peek up for high ground. He's thinking about it. He goes up. He finds a little piece of the land that's not taken over, and he's going to commit. He's going to go all the way, and it's a build battle. It's an all-out breakout for height, and he is keeping track of the opponent beautifully there. But remember, the higher you build, the more likely he is to get chopped down here. He does have the heal condition. He is down to 40 mats here. Macwood tries to break it down. Threat's on the bottom fighting. If Threat wins this fight here, they can actually do it. Jamper's going to win one. That's onto Tragic's. The Siphon waiting for him. He needs the material to get down, though. It's desperate. He's going to get it. Beautifully done there. And now he gets blocked out, though. Unfortunately, good reads. And here it is. Threat's there to back him up. Oh, my gosh. Another team lands on them, and they find that one, too. And Jamper and Threats are actually popping off right now.
They are. They've got 9 eliminations to their name, but no, Pump
on
high ground as a solo has managed to somehow take it, and he's taken out Threats as well. So Jamper, as another solo v solo up on height, is still in it, but it seems like Slick's team has also seen what's going on, and they're starting to go up. Goku and Shark are pumping and cramping to get up to where Pump's position is. They're going for a chop out yet again, and this could be it. 27, the shots continue to come out, but somehow he is still in this. But it seems like Goku, Sharkman, and Slick have claimed high ground as a full trio with the Chug Cannon in hand on the low ground. Dusky and Spade not slept in for this one, with Bump in the middle at the same time. The pressure comes out, but he is down to such white HP. It seems like the full trio shall be able to claim this up on high ground.
That's it. This is it. It's the victory lap at this point for Goku and crew. And Goku hits the shot on the way down. Down goes Dusky. Out the door goes Spade to the zone. And just like that, Slick.
They're doing what they can. Elite potentially may have dropped down, but it seems like he may be going back up. Leo's team is the team who has taken it. Death is still in this as well, and Cold, the whole team still up on high ground. That seems like a full take. Azuni's now launch pad straight ahead of the zone, still low on their materials with 20 builds total. They're going to start to apply that pressure to any teams. They need to get a pick to keep them moving through this end game. With 4 eliminations to their name, still not looking very good for them at this point.
I mean, I want to remind you guys, Leo, Death, and Spike, they did pick up a victory out yesterday. They were one of the few teams that made it this far with a W. So they have the opportunity here. They've won before. We know they can do it. Look at this. They're going to go into the zone. Zuna's going to go in and commit. This is the side most dangerous kind of hype play. It's going to work. Perfectly land up above. AV Zuni's. Mikey virtually get free hype, but Mikey misses the drop here. He gets landed on. He's going to get tagged too. He's off to the races, just trying to stay up. Down comes a teammate to back him up here. Zuni's got this man inside the storm line. He's going to hop on out. They don't win the shot, though. What happens? He gets taken out. Spike is down. Mikey comes back. He takes fall damage. He's out too. AV saves himself in the pump, though. He is now out of the game, as Trap is going to be the one who swings around now. And what just happened? It was looking so good, and then they threw it all away.
It was looking so good, but down on low ground, this looks much more consistent with Jamper, Threats, and Rise claiming this low ground layer and pressuring anyone off it that they can. They're going to go for more eliminations as their players tagged right next to them. This is critical for them to ensure that they're good in the zone, but they're only left on wood. This is unfortunate. They're going to have to start applying that pressure, picking up the refresh, but they drop 2 down. That's 1 knock. They're getting the body straight back in. This could be the refresh that they need, and it is. Look at that absolute llama of loot that comes out, but it seems like potentially only siphon materials from it at the same time, as we also in that bottom right see Ved, Tabney, and Pump still in this as a full trio as well.
And that was onto Oliver OG. Asian Jeff now the focus here for Threat Jampers and Rise. They're still looking up. It's a 3v1. He's playing a good enough of a defense to defend them off. And now all of a sudden, Jamper looks up for high ground again. He sees a small opportunity, but there's too many targets. He doesn't even know who he wants to shoot. He's going to focus on the spirit bow. They're going to fight their way in. G5 jumps down, though. Big shots onto Threat and Jamper. They lose it. Felix takes out Jamper. Down he goes. And the Siphon comes through. Pose is still up alive now as well. It's looking very good for Felix and company, but high ground has a new king on the top. It's Glepo, Brutal, and Berserker. The heals already coming in. They're looking to bounce back into this, and it's going to be a low ground war here. Who can walk away with the most mats? Who's a full team here? Ved and Tabney's trio are the ones that are up. They're looking the best at the moment.
They're looking the best at the moment. There's also still a solo left remaining in this as Brutal starts to drop down to be brutally applying that pressure too. There is still a solo. It's Felix who is the solo alive at the back of the storm, alive with two full trios who are going to be going head to head, but it seems like the username is going to be going for the heal play. 4 floppers. That's it. He dropped back into storm right now. The other players will not be able to find them. They're going to have to start engaging in this as the time ticks down, as the HP does at the same time. Glepo and Brutal don't seem to have the heal game stuck as they are on wood, but no, everyone is basically eliminated down onto the low ground by Glepo and Brutal as well, allowing that heal play just to go on slow. There's still 11 cabbages on Brutal. 11 cabbages onto him. There's more in his name. There is more. He may be able to find that, as right now the user player consistently applies that pressure, but he has nothing. He has nothing to his name, and he is going to be picked up, and it's going to Brutal, Berserk, and Glepo for game number 3. Same with Jamper. Threats and Rise doing the complete opposite thing. They're taking a full low ground position. Their height takes may come a little bit later on.
They did it before. They did it in the last game, and they had an excellent rotate from being in the front side, but they're playing the Scented Edgy Commandment style. They are dead on the low side, right? They are dead low right now. It's the best way to do it if you want to avoid conflict, but also have the positioning to use that firepower to push other teams out. For Illis, Macklin, and Tragic Cell, they are in the mix. They are dangerously close to the high ground teams. Pose is up on height. He's fighting for it. He's going to find Spike there with a huge tag. But hold up, Spike manages to bounce back. It seems like a Siphon might have come through as soon as the crack came through. And Leo and Def are still alive somehow. And it pulls back his way. So they are able to recycle some of these builds as Surge is now active. Another team's going to land on up. It's a 2v1. It's Mikey and AV. Zuni's on the other side here, and now it's their high ground. What just happened? They managed to take that so quickly.
That was a perfect pad to get up onto the high ground position to make sure they have height. We watched them all game, and they're in such a good spot. But down, Jamper in the bottom left, tagged by Surge. 197 above. 6 players need to be eliminated. They probably won't be able to heal this out. They need to get tags back. They have also lost Rise in the process as well. So alive as a duo below the Storm Surge. 2 more players need to go out, and it's going to be those potentially if they do not put the pressure. But yes, a headshot comes through, and it puts them 3 above.
Just barely holding on now, but the Storm is going to start to slow down here. The Surge is not going to damage them anymore. Another team has extra pressure. Spike gets caught out there. Zunis finds the refresher. That is massive. And on second height, they are now the focus point for the high ground team. Jamper tries to launch pad this one. What are they thinking? They want to go down? No, he's floating up. He's going to get tagged a few times. That is so risky, only to then build up to be back on second height. Again, that is going to be the focus for the high ground teams. They have to be very cautious in this moment here, but they're still looking up. Another team goes up for high ground. It's Dusky and Spade. Shifu, they make it all the way through, and it's a build battle for height once again here. This could give Jamper Threats an opportunity to continue to stay alive here, but Spade, the veteran, he's got this on lock here, and it seems like they're starting to run out of mats, though. They will have to come down here.
I've just seen in the Elim feed, Tabney is still in as well. Threats has picked up another elimination too, so they are both popping off at this point. But Shifu's been picked up, and so has Dusky as well. And that is going to be Mikey and Zunis who are claiming that as well. So Spade still up there alive, but Jamper now is the solo as Threats has been taken out. This could be the end of their run for FNCS for this season. 60 HP and a dream, 20 materials, but no, Jamper's picked up.
And there it is. He's down and out, but Macwood is still up. If you're rooting for him, I see another name in there. Smacked and Casker still in this game too. But Zunies manages to find another Elim right there. And all of a sudden, they're at 8 and high ground. Mikey's super hurt. But Curix with the dead zone play here. He's going to sneak up, and it's a surprise attack. He finds a huge tag there. But Zunies puts him down. He shuts him down. And Zunies is on fire here. Now at 200 HP. He is a tank, a walking tank here. No, actually, he's just got a single tick on him. He is by himself. He can play for the make play here. But if he does that, Macwood and crew will walk away with this. They're the only team that might be fully alive right now. This is their game to win. Will we have a fairy tale finish here? Halo, Freeze still up. Niddle's still up in the zone. This heal comes through. We talked about it. Wasn't going to be good enough. 107 on the tag there. Niddle heal in the feed. Mac was going to go for it too. I think Mac was got it. I think it's enough. Illis is on the hunt, but it's going to be all right. The heal will come through for Macwood here in just a second. Did he time it correctly? Yes, he did. Now they have to find Niddle. Niddle is eating inside the storm line. Macwood finds heals. He finds plenty. Niddle finds a ton of heals too. And they're both going for the heal off. It's a race against time here, Reese. There's the chug cannon. Niddle at the moment has the advantage. Is there enough? Holy, there are so many heals there. I think Niddle might just have it here. It's so hard to call. Is there enough in the feed? We'll see.
I hope there's enough. I really do.
Oh my gosh.
Niddle has half of the loot of the map.
Macwood has more.
But Macwood still has more too. There's no way that Macwood will pick up the victory royale alongside Illis and Tragix.
Oh man, let's go. I cannot believe that he found the heals to actually out-heal Niddle. Niddle was sitting on like 3 chug cannons. Like there's so much loot. Macwood finds a nice little pile of his own though. So exciting. Good finish there.